Christmas. Once a year it comes, a time of cold and seclusion, a time to be surrounded in blinking lights like an air freshener, struggling to fight the cloud of stench. Just like that, we put aside reality to engage in comfort and joy. Oh, me? They call me Mr. 5. Greetings, chromatic warriors, and welcome to a special, cozy Christmas edition of a video. There are many days when you come home from work, or you work from home so you never leave work, but you say to your imaginary friends, boy, I had some fun looking at nutcrackers today. Source material. I always love that each model carries a theme and gets you into something different. So I was admiring many thematic color schemes, both gaudy and glorious. And hey, while we're here talking about painting, have you checked the links down below and also included clicking the like and subscribe button in your hand activity? Okay, put down that mouse. Let's talk about Christmas painting. A big thank you to Games Workshop for sending me this festive model ahead of time to try doing my thing on top of it. The model comes as so in the box, but I had to do something a little bit different. It is kind of Christmas after all, so I decided on that old classic, choppas for feet. Removing the hands, wow. Getting ahead of myself. I want to remove the entire body and replace all of the limbs with blades. But on today's model, I settled for just the feet so far. But this gives me a chance to create a wider scene. So an oval base with a nice icy finish on top. Yeah, now I'm feeling like this is mine. So, okay, now we get into Christmas painting. Stage 1, I'm going to be setting up some stacks of color. Don't worry too much about blending. As we'll see, there are a lot of colors going onto this model, but I'm going to choose 3 major elements, the kind of 3 nutcracker tones. The first step will be tightened taut trousers of temple gate teal. I'll also pick out the weaponry and some of the smaller badges. Continuing along in those tightened taut trousers, I'll be using talisman teal. You can see I'm not blending, I'm just trying to lock in a bit of the anatomy of the shape. You know, just kind of aiming for that upward facing angle, or perhaps where a little bit more light might be falling through. Just have a damp brush, but no dilution. I just want a very heavy amount of pigment laid in place, and this is going to be the case for all of the stages as I'm slapping this together. So I want to take a little bit of time on this one in the beginning to explain and show the brush working for an extended amount of time. Just getting heavy amounts slapped in place, and although it is a very fast approach, I don't want to speed through it. I don't want to miss the inside of the leg, etc. There's some scratches and dents that are fairly prominent, so I want to make sure I pick those out. And ain't nothing wrong with going back for a second coat of paint. So I want everything to be very bright and vibrant, and quickly so. To round off the progression, for now, I'll bring Amulet Aqua into play. You can see how I'm kind of drawing on top of the model, moving alongside the edges, but not really taking too much time to pick them out. Gives me kind of it's an animated but kind of rough look to the edges. Again, this is about going quickly and using a little magic at the end, a little Christmas magic. Given that this model is a bit of a clanker, I think the textured approach is going to work. Jumping up to the jacket, that's Imperial Navy for the bottom of the stack. Following that, I'm lifting up with Phalanx Blue. You can see I'm having fun with a more sketchy application. As long as I keep these colors into portions of thirds, I'm good. Speaking to that topography and just making sure you have the anatomy of a shape in place, shadow, midtone, highlight, then I'm good. But I'm enjoying this kind of cell-shaded look. Coming along nicely. Just want to give you a kind of look overall. It almost looks like a camouflage pattern. Some of this needs another pass. It can be more saturated. But let's keep on sketching. And here I have a chance to kind of play with the shape and implied. I can apply a little bit of a reflection here by just running this highlight like so, instead of taking it all the way up to the hip. And just drop a real chunky edge highlight down. And just make sure each one of these colors is nice and saturated. Very nice. To accomplish that telltale red of the Gobbo's garb, I've first base coated some smaller areas with blanched berry, and now I'm lifting them up with fiery vermilion. I know the neck area might look a little weird, but I customized the model. I've reduced down the size of the Gobbo a little bit so just his head is poking out. This is the lump of putty it will be attached to. Alright, getting somewhere colorful. Final step for now will be a highlight of burning ore, capping off that fiery vermilion. Click clack, what a difference those metallics make, framing everything up nicely. And I decided to get a little spicy with it, using two metallic colors. First, using tainted gold to lock in the brighter bits, and also heavy metal for the more silvery pieces. Being sure to add multiple coats so I get a nice shiny and true result. Magnifique. With our main stacks of colors and local tones established, I'd like to airbrush a unifying shadow in place. We call this the old anti-zenithal technique. It's real free and easy. Oh, 'tis the season of giving, my friends, and I had a special idea for this model. I have plenty of painted figures in my case, so why not auction it off? And I'd like to give the proceeds to charity. For this model, I'm going to give all of the profits to the local harbor house. Yeah, so check the link down below and you could win this model. It goes towards a donation. Seemed like a quick and easy way to raise some funding during a time when some people are having a rough time. So, thanks. Check the link below. Cheers. Don't be scared of the airbrush. Just maintain a consistent distance. You don't want to be too far away because you want the paint to be able to atomize. At a certain distance, the pressure is going to dissipate and you're going to get a much more spotty result. So be working very close, especially something of this level of detail. You want to be a few inches away. Okay, head attached, color mockery applied. I think this fella's ready for a little bit of airbrushing. I want to be relying on more of a transparent coat, slowly building that up. So I'm going to add some airbrush medium, we'll add some matte black, just 4 drops, sure. And for a little play on temperature, I'm going to put a drop of dark sky also inside. Back spray very gently to mix the colors. Now very gradually, I'm going to add a thin, transparent layer of that mixture. And this first coat is not going to make much of a difference. It's just kind of laying down something for the following coats to grab onto. Gradual is the word that I want you to keep in mind. You can see the very slight effect, but if I apply too much of this at one time, it's going to get runny.
I want to lay down just a thin sheet of tint so it sticks right where I want it to. It's kind of funny because you may look at an area and wonder if you've already hit that area because it's so inconsequential at first. Coming back in for a little more accumulation, there are some areas where you want to fix your aim, get in a little bit tighter. Right here, I want a shadow descending towards this small hydraulic piece. Some hard to reach areas behind the red Gobbo, but also just coming in for another pass, just adding to the effect. You can see it starting to take hold, shading everything uniformly, thematic cold tones. It's working. Behold the effect. See the unifying tint that brings into play. I want to make things a little more extreme. I'm bringing some pure, undiluted black into play, and I'm going to add it very sparing amounts, in the deepest of shadows. Yeah, just a little bit further into the depths of the darkness. Not to be confused with The Darkness from the John Blanche set. This is a different kind of darkness. Not too bad. I'm just going to go and touch some things up, maybe return some of those colors back into place. If anything was lost, maybe I want to return a highlight with one of those secondary colors. Yeah, just do a little bit of touching around and touching up. There's also a little bit of, let's call it color returning that I'd like to do. Obviously the downward facing concave yellow progression isn't going to favor the being shot from beneath with an airbrush, so I need to reclaim a bit of this with my yellow and orange. And a similar story with some of these other colors. I want to extend a little bit of the line work down now that I have my finer pointed brush out. And just a little quick pass of some of these details that are in more exposed areas. And I'm also going to pull everything together with a unifying highlight of frost blue. This is, first of all, it's an easy choice to use the same color to highlight everything, and it's also an atmospheric choice. It's in cold weather, so kind of capping everything off with a frosty tone just adds to the element. For the finalizing touches, first kind of major movement, I'm going to go through and highlight everything with frost blue. I mean, I'll leave the metallics out, but every color is going to be capped off with a cold finish. Ooh, I'm going to have to fix that line. But we soldier on. Now I'm pulling in the scope a little closer, trying to find those reflective channels, pick out some edge highlights, add a little bit of superficial texture, some extra little scrapes and scratches that will further disguise the kind of quick blending. So yeah, go around and give all of the opaque colors a little touch of the frost blue. Let's talk about some Christmas metals. They're looking nice, but there are always more subtle hues to key in on, especially when you're working with true metallic metals. I have a lot of fun with them because the true metallic metals are a gloss paint, so they take washes and speed paints, etc. They take to those very well. And speaking of color returns, I'm going to pull some diluted Fire Giant Orange speed paint into the mix and give all of the gold a little touch of that. It warms it up. The kind of coldness will combine due to the transparent qualities. Yeah, I think this is a good look. Okay, let's cap off those metallics now with a little bit of mithril. I'll be applying it to the silver and the gold. All the tones of tinsel, yes, picking every bulbous button, every shimmering star. Frick! running with all those Christmas analogies, but my aim is true. And finally, we end with a little touch o magic. I'm going to come back in with the airbrush and add more to that frosty effect. Oh yeah, just one more little fun step I can't stop. Having fun. I have some hide turquoise loaded into the airbrush, since this model will be making contact with an icy base. I'm just going to spray a little bit of a color influence, that icy tone reflecting up at the figure. Neat. Well, it's all over now. And in the end, I had a good time navigating color choices on a confusing model. At first, when I looked at this model in the package, I had said yes to painting this sight unseen. Red Gobbo, Tinboy, that sounds like fun. I was expecting some kind of ogre-sized robot, and I got a nutcracker instead. That's fine. It's funny that 'tis the season, right? But yeah, it's always interesting trying to navigate such a new and complex model. It's made out of all new, shapes and forms, and has no rules as far as its color scheme goes. Yeah, I have a lot of freedom there, and trying to contain all of that, create a kind of homogeneous, unified color scheme on something that's supposed to be zazzy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There are a lot of small lessons to peel away from this towards just painting faster and letting go at certain stages. I'm trying to get more comfortable with just more of a sketchy beginning, slapping those plates of color into place, involving the airbrush a little more often. I'm having fun, and hope you are too. So let me know how much fun you're having in the comment section down below. I'm always happy to hear from you. And until we meet again, my friends, on down that chromatic trail, remain unchained.